Alright, so this is gonna be the second time I do this bitch, cause the other one I did lasted like 40 minutes, and I didn't really like it, so I deleted it. And this is obviously the answer part of my Q&A shit. And right now I'm downloading Pinnacle Studio. So if I get that shit to work, then I might like put some melee up here in the background. If not, then I'll just either leave a black screen or put a random picture or some shit like that. But yeah, on to the questions. Mega Trolling Troll wants to know, damn, you're not gonna narrate because you don't want to. Wow, what do you think Pokemon is? Just a game? Pretty much, you got it right. I'm not gonna narrate. Actually, you got it wrong. I am gonna narrate, if I ever do decide to upload a battle, which I will. I just don't know when, and it won't be often. I will narrate whatever I do decide to upload. And what do you think Pokemon is? Just a game? Yep, it's pretty much just a game, and it's pretty much something I do to forget about shit and just to waste some time, and yeah. Diane Mikex, how's life treating you? I don't know. I guess I really shouldn't complain. I have food, I have water, I can breathe, I'm relatively healthy. Um, I don't know, I got a house to live in, I'm getting an education, I have a job. So, yeah, I guess that's okay. In terms of the tangible things in life, I cannot complain. And on other aspects, not so much. So, Ninetales per hour, do you still play Melee as often as you used to? No, I do not. My brother moved to Oklahoma and he was always the one that I played. So now that he's a couple states away from me, I can't really play him, and Melee just isn't as fun when you're not playing somebody. I still play like All Star and just practice like maybe once or twice every couple weeks, but it's pretty boring like that, so no, I don't play as much as I used to, but I do still play. Creative name 9001. Do you have any favorite uploaders, either Pokemon uploaders or others? I obviously do have some favorite uploaders. In terms of the Pokemon uploaders, I really like PokeAim MD, Joey, no, not Wild Chase, fuck. I like, yeah, Joey, Shofu, Sour, um, and for now, I think those three are about it. Like, I'm subscribed to a bunch of other Pokemon dudes that I kind of like, but they don't exactly upload very much. So, yeah, those three for now are somewhat consistent, and I don't really have too many complaints about their shit. But I do have some which I will elaborate on right now. Sour, he's pretty much real. He's not like a faggot, so that's always a plus. He plays OU, so that's definitely a plus. And the thing that I don't really like about him, or that I would change if I could, is that he uses like some really fucked up teams. Like, they're not like super original, but they're just like not bog standard, which I guess for many is a plus or a good thing. But for me, I don't want to use any team that has like a jump lift. Like, are you serious? Jump lift? But yeah, it worked for him, and I'm pretty sure if I was any good, it would work for me. But I pretty much always need to use like the most strongest, powerful, broken shit if I want any type of chance to win a battle. So yeah, I can't really steal any of his teams. Shofu, as I'm sure you guys all know, his videos, especially his Pokemon videos, have been going downhill lately. But back in the day, he used to be pretty good. He still is pretty good. Um, his battles were a lot better back then. Now he just doesn't really care about Pokemon. So yeah, his videos aren't as good. Joey is super strong, so I always liked watching his shit. But the only complaint that I have about Joey's videos is that he plays like faggot tears, and he talks a little too fast, and sometimes he says like some obvious shit, and sometimes he tries to be a little too fucking friendly, but whatever, I guess that's just the way he is. So yeah. Next question comes from the McLayer. A quick question: why do you always sound so sad? I don't know. This is just the way I sound. I just got an email. LOL. But I don't know. My voice is kind of like on the low side of the spectrum, and I kind of talk somewhat slowly, and it's very monotone. And usually when people are trying to sound sad or they are sad, they usually incorporate those three things into their voice, but there's nothing I can do about the way I sound. This is just my normal tone of voice. I can get a little more high pitched and talk a little faster if I'm kind of excited, but that's usually a very rare case, so I ended up sounding like this all the time. Or it could be that I always am so sad. LOL. But yeah. Next question. Darius gets Buck. What do you do on your free time now that you're bored of Pokemon? I'm not bored of Pokemon, okay? I still like Pokemon. I like to watch Pokemon battles. I still like to go on Smallgunner and read some shit. I still, if somebody strong is on PO, I still go on PO and watch them. But I do not feel like battling myself, so I don't battle. But I'm not bored of Pokemon, and pretty much I do the same shit that I've always done. Just fuck around and on the internet, look at random shit, and then go on Skype and talk shit about myself mostly, and then just, yeah, the same shit I've always done. Mystic Rayquaza 23 asked, oh, I see you decided to put it back in HD, huh, Black? No, I did not decide to put it back in HD because none of my other videos were HD. I just put the YouTube stretch tag so they could be 16:9 aspect ratio. Because with my laptop, it just takes me a while to render in HD, and especially with my internet, it would take me forever to upload. Like that HD battle was like 7 minutes long. It took me like almost 3 hours to upload it, so that's why I never made HD. But the reason I made that one HD is because I wanted to see how much faster my new computer is compared to my laptop, and it was a fuckload a lot faster. So yeah. Jake Jacobs wants to know, are you still gonna go to events like VGCs, tournaments, etc., and possibly record your adventures? Probably not. On VGCs, I was never really a fan of the VGC playstyle, and pretty much the group that I used to go to VGCs with, like Shofu and all them, they kind of aren't really into Pokemon all that much, so it kind of feels like a waste of time to go. If I'm just gonna be there all alone and shit, I can be alone in my house like I am every single day of my entire fucking life. So I don't need to spend a bunch of money on gas and like food and housing. And even if they were to all go, like VGCs, it's kind of like a waste of money and time. Cause every time I went or we went to VGCs, I always ended up like paying for people's food and housing and transportation. Not paying for all of it, but I always contributed, and that takes its toll on my wallet, even though not really. But yeah. Joey Poke Aim MD wants to know, what do you think makes a battler a good battler? Fuck Joey, I don't fucking know. Like, why did you ask this question? This, I don't know, it's pretty fucking obvious. A good battler is someone who knows the metagame, knows how to fucking predict, is lucky, and just, I don't know. A good battler is someone with skill. Like, they just know how to predict, they know when to predict, they know what risk to take, they know the standard sets, they know their teams well, they know their opponent's teams well, they can control their opponent to some extent, and yeah, they just they can see more options than a non-good battler can. Like me, for instance, like when I watch your fucking PO lives, I can usually only think about 3 or 4 options, but then I'd like watch you obviously, and then you think of like 3 or 4 more, which I never even considered, which might be due to the fact that it's your team and you probably know it better than I do. But still, a good battler is always gonna know or figure out more options than a not good battler. Like if you just take like someone and give them a Pokemon game, all they're gonna know is click a fucking button, attack, click one of the 4 attacks, and as they get better, they realize that those 4 attacks do different things. Give them a little more time, and they'll realize about like super effective shit, and then they'll learn about switching, and then other shit. But basically, the better you are, the more options you will take into account, and the better you will be in handling those options. So that's what makes a battler a good battler, in my opinion. So yeah. Rematch 727 wants to know, where do you currently work? Where do you plan to work in the future? And 2, what makes you happy? Okay, so question number 1. I currently work in construction. I erect some giant steel tanks, and that's pretty much what I do. People usually use them for either water storage or most of the time I'm working in the oil fields, so I build tanks so oil companies like Chevron and Exxon and Shell can put in all their fucking crude oil and then do whatever the fuck they want with it. So yeah, that's where I work. And where do we plan to work in the future? I plan to stay there until I fucking die. So yeah, that's what I plan to work in the future, because I get paid okay. Like, I don't know, I guess it's not all that much, but for me it's enough, I would say. But I don't know, we'll find out, because right now I'm still going to school and I kind of still live with my parents, and I don't really pay for all that much. But yeah, like, I work during the summer and like during just any break, and I pretty much make enough money to pay for all of my school and food and gas and books and all that shit. So I can't really complain about it, although it is it's pretty much some hard physical labor, but I don't really give a fuck. I kind of like it, to be honest. So, and your second question is, what makes you happy? A lot of shit makes me happy. Food makes me happy, sleep makes me happy, and other stuff. The Concrete Emperor wants to know, what are you majoring in college? I'm a biology major. I kind of asked people not to ask one word answer questions, so I'm a bio major. That's it. Faison Elitist. This dude always leaves some really strong comments, but I think this one was a little too strong. So yeah, he asks, has Miklachu ever reciprocated the interest and love that you've slyly shown for her? That's a very good use of vocabulary there on your part, but I'm not gonna answer this question completely, but I'm not gonna avoid it. What the fuck is that noise, man? Alright, the question. Has Miklachu ever reciprocated the interest and love that you've slyly shown for her? First of all, I've never shown interest and love. Okay? Not in the slightest. I've shown interest, very blatant, obvious interest, but it wasn't interest in love. It was more like interest to get friend zoned, to be quite honest. Because basically, I don't think I've ever known like a female. Well, I've known females obviously, but never any that I would consider a friend, or that they would consider me a friend. And that kind of gets to me a lot. So whenever someone comes around that like wants to show me any type of attention, I kind of get really happy and really excited. And then they figure out that I'm kind of a creeper and a loser, and they like go away and never return. And that's pretty much the situation that happened here. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for that, even though not really. K Halid. Fuck, man. Let me put this shit on pause real quick. Alright, where the fuck was I? Oh yeah. K Halid 7377 asks, what you study in college, what is your job, etc. Personal things, basically things we can't get from just watching your battles. I pretty much already answered what I'm doing in college. I'm trying to get a bachelor's degree in biology. I think this is my last year, but I don't fucking know. I really hope it is though, because I really want to start working full time and just know what it's like to be fucking independent and know what it's like to have some peace and quiet finally. But yeah, as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna start working full time, doing what I'm doing right now, which is construction. So yeah, I don't know what other type of personal things you want to know, but whatever. Serplet asks, why do you put yourself down so much, Black? I do not put myself down. I just am brutally honest. Like, yeah, I'm just honest. I can see how people think I put myself down, but I'm just honest. That's it. That's just the bottom line. I'm not trying to like live in some fantasy world where I am ignorant or fuck. I don't know the word that I know the word that I'm looking for. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, I'm honest. That's it. Make a Detail wants to know, who's the best competitive Wi-Fi battler you have been against? Why are they the best? Also, who is second and third? The best is Joey, Poke Aim MD. That's an easy one. Ever since I known about this dude, I immediately recognized the skill and just the strength that was present in front of my eyes, because yeah, he's really good. I don't know if it's just the narration style that he has that like showed me he was really good, but it's not just his narration that is good, because he's honestly really, really good. Not only at one tier, which is the big difference that sets Joey apart, in my opinion. That sets Joey apart between him and everyone else, is that Joey is really, really good at basically every single tier. Like, he does OU, UU, Ubers, other shit, other tiers that are not relevant at all. But I know he plays them, and I'm pretty sure he's pretty good. But I don't really look too much into the lower tiers, but I know he's pretty good at them. So yeah. And the second, probably gonna be Great Bastard. He's really good. You guys may not know him unless you do PO or simulators, but he's been pretty much at the top of the ladder, or close to the top, for the past year or so, and I've battled him a couple times. I've gotten smashed a couple times. I've never beaten him, so yeah, he's pretty good. And the third would just be like a toss-up between a bunch of people. So I'm not really gonna pick a third, but Joey's really strong. Cover Shop Kid wants to know, maybe you need to play some new tiers so you won't be bored. No, I don't. I don't see why I would not, or how new tier would help me in any way. Like, I just don't like those fucking faggot tiers. I like to play OU, and that's the way it's been. I've done UU like 3 times. I got fucking destroyed all 3 times. And yeah, I just don't want to. I don't want to play other tiers. I want to play OU, and that's it. Dangerous 36M, Rick. His question is, who would win in a fight between the two of us, you or me? I don't know why the fuck you asked this. Like, I've never said that I'm gonna win. Like, every time I'm fully aware of the fact that you are probably gonna win. So for those of you that don't know, Rick and I have agreed that if we ever meet each other in real life, we're just gonna have a fight, and we don't have anything against each other, or at least I don't have anything against him, but it's just something we agreed upon, and he's gonna win mainly due to the fact that he's a kickboxer, or he has some type of kickboxing training, and I have no training in the slightest. So that's gonna be the main difference. He's also taller. He's got a longer reach. He's probably lighter, so that means he probably has more endurance. And I'm not sure. I'm a pretty weak person, so he might be stronger than me as well. But I don't know. The main difference there is gonna be that he has training and I don't. And I know he's probably gonna, or he probably would win in a fight, but I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna go into that fight expecting to win. All I'm gonna do is know that I have an opportunity to hit somebody, and I've always wanted to hit somebody. I don't know, it just seems like it would relieve so much fucking stress and like just help me a lot. But I obviously just can't randomly start hitting people, so Rick agreed to give me an opportunity to hit somebody, but he's also gonna hit back, obviously. So he would win, you would win. I don't care. I never said that I'm gonna win, but yeah. Sarah Boss wants to know, Pokemon uploaders, who's doing it right and who's doing it wrong and why. That's a very good shameless plug on your behalf, Sour, since you are obviously doing it right. Sour Boss is doing it right. He doesn't really care about views or likes or anything at all for that matter, and that's pretty much the way you gotta do it. Like, if you're doing this shit for the subscribers or for the likes or the views or the anything, you're not doing it right. Like, people who do it for those reasons, they usually play Pokemon for like a year or two, and then they finally realize that their YouTube channel is never gonna amount to absolutely nothing, which was the whole purpose of their videos and the whole fucking time. So when they realize that, they pretty much stop. And the people who last are the people who really don't care about their views or anything. They just upload because they want to, and not because other people like what they do or whatever. So you're doing it right. Rick is doing it right, 'cause he's been here a while. Who's doing it wrong? I don't know. Like, I'd rather not get into like specific people, because at the end of the day, this is just my opinion, and I don't know. In my opinion, who's doing it wrong? Let me just fucking think of one person who's doing it wrong. Fuck it, I'll say it. Noah is doing it wrong. You know what I mean? He's not doing it completely wrong. He's just not doing it 100% right. Because he seems to care a lot about his channel, which is fine, I guess. Maybe. Nah, it's not fine. You should not care in the fucking slightest about your channel. You shouldn't get sad when some people leaves you a comment talking about pathetic and all this shit. But whatever, that's just him. Like I said, just my opinion. But again, Noah just came to mind because he always gets upset, or it seems that way to me. But he's actually not doing it super wrong. Someone who's doing it wrong would be like the person with like 10 subscribers who goes on like every fucking channel and says, "Oh, look at my Pokemon battles and leave a like and all that shit." Rick is actually guilty of that. Like, I could still go on some people's channels and you can find Rick asking people to subscribe to his channels. Even though those comments are like fucking 4 years old, they're still there. They're etched into history. And yeah. But like I said, Rick is doing it right. Back in the day, he was kind of doing it wrong, but I think he realized what he needed to do if he wanted any type of success, which he has gotten a lot more success than most people. Definitely a lot more than me. So yeah. Not that I give a shit about the success, but yeah. Naranagi, who and why do you want to come back into the Pokemon YouTube community, or what site forum that had to do with Pokemon would you want revived? Who, I don't know, it would be hard to pick. I don't really care all that much, to be quite honest. It's hard to pick one person, but I'd like all the old school players to be active still, like some of my old favorites, like ZMT, the Shadow Project, Xerxes to some extent, even though I think he still uploads, I don't know. but he's kind of like living in the past or some shit. But I don't think his videos are up to the standard that he set himself a few years ago, which is why I don't really watch him anymore. But Xerxes, I really liked him back in the day. Dysfunction was pretty good, even though he kind of like went away from the whole uploading shit as soon as the narrating business started coming around. But any old school player, I'd like to come back. And as for the website, I don't know. I really like game battles. Like, I think game battles would make the community a lot more competitive. But then again, game battles is kind of stupid because people DC and they try to get wins off of you, and it's retarded. But if game battles worked in a perfect world, game battles would be super legit because they have like the whole team and like tournament thingy. That shit's pretty tight. I did game battles a few years ago, few seasons, and I kind of won it 2 times in a row. But then nobody was good on game battles, so that's kind of why it died out. But yeah, I'm always innocent. This dude's been watching my shit for a long ass time, so shout out to him. What pisses you off more, Pokemon or Smash? I get mad as fuck when I lose any fighting game. Okay, Pokemon, obviously. I get really mad when I lose at Pokemon. Not so much when I lose at Smash, because I've always been 100% aware of the fact that I completely suck ass at Smash. Even like when I knew nothing about the competitive scene, my brother would always be better. When we used to play with items and shit, and all I would do was spam C-stick, he would still find a way to fucking win every single time. And I don't think I've ever been better than him. So he was always a lot better than me, and I never really cared. And then when we got into the competitive scene, we started watching like Ken and Isaiah, and then Ozin, and then fucking Mewtwo King, PC Chris, and now Mango and Armada, and all those like super fucking good players. So I've always been aware that I'm nowhere near that level. So I don't really get mad when I lose at Smash. And I never really take Smash too seriously. Like, I don't sit there and practice shit, which I know would probably make me better. But I don't just sit there and practice tech skill, which my tech skill really fucking sucks. But yeah. Super Effective 87 wants to know, do you eat the red ones last? No. Why do you call Terrakion horse? I don't know. Roscoe started calling it horse, and it looks like a horse, so it just fucking stuck to me. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Burgers. I really like burgers. They're by far my favorite food, so it'd be burgers. Flaming Arcanine. If your Pokemon were real, what 6 pokes would you choose to have on your team? I don't know. I mean, if Pokemon were real, what would be the difference between my teams in real life and the teams in the game? I'm guessing if you're asking if I had only 6 pokes to choose, probably be like Blastoise, Gengar, Metagross, Terrakion, Mewtwo, Zapdos, Garchomp. I think that's like 7 or something, but it'd be something along those lines. It'd probably be hard to choose between like Mewtwo and Zapdos and Garchomp, but those are some of my favorite pokes. Lugia is pretty cool too. I've always liked Lugia. Solar Pumpkin wants to know the strange ongoing pseudo joke comment feud between you and Shofu. How did it start? You seem to make light of each other battling your personality quirks fairly often, and most of the time it's pretty flippant and funny, I will admit. So there is not really any feud. Feud, I think, has a negative connotation to it. But yeah, basically, Shofu and I have nothing against each other, or again, I have nothing against him. We're pretty much internet friends. So yeah, there is no fucking feud. We do leave some out of the ordinary comments, I guess you would say. But it's only out of the ordinary because we're kind of like real. We don't, we're not like trying to hide and do all this fake shit which people expect you to do. If we think something, we're gonna let it known, especially if it's about our videos, because we have that how would you say, like, we're comfortable with each other. I don't fucking know, that sounds kind of gay, but yeah, just because we're not playing snap notes with each other, being like, oh my god, amazing video, this was so cool, just because we don't leave that type of comment doesn't mean we have some type of feud. And the joke thing, it's just jokes, like, who cares, it's just a joke. So there's no animosity there. So yeah, how did it start? I don't know, that's just the way it's always been. Because like I said, just because we're not playing slap nuts with each other doesn't mean we hate each other. So yeah, XNDL44, I can tell that you're not enthusiastic about battling, but what tips would you give upcoming battlers who have bad prediction skills? I'm not sure if you mean that you have prediction skills, but basically, prediction at the end of the day is a 50-50 choice. You either do something or you don't do something. And like when I predict, or I don't know when I predict, but what helped me a lot to understand prediction was looking up game theory. And if you don't know what that is, look it up right now. Let me look it up as well, as a matter of fact. Fuck. I have my microphone in the way of the keyboard, Johns. But yeah, basically, look up game theory, and it pretty much, it's like options. Some of the options have higher risk, some of them high reward, and you just gotta pick one. And some chances, the higher risk is gonna pay off, and some of them it's not gonna pay off. And yeah, just it's all gonna depend on what the other person does at the end of the day. And prediction is honestly not that important. I mean, prediction is not what makes or breaks a good battler. Like, if you're really good, you're not gonna even need to predict, to be honest. I think that's how Great Bastard plays, or I think I've heard him say something, but he never predicts. Well, he predicts, but he basically puts himself in a position where he does not need to predict. The other person, what he does is he puts the other person in a position where they need to predict. So basically, just take control of the game and you will have absolutely no need for prediction. So if you really need to predict, you're probably playing someone who's a lot better than you, or your team is kind of shitty, or you just got hacks or something. And yeah, don't worry about prediction. It's gonna come eventually with practice. So just don't try to predict. If you're trying to predict like every turn, you're doing it wrong. That's not prediction. That's just playing retarded and guessing. So yeah, DDRR8899 wants to know, what was your best high school experience? Prom, just chilling with friends, any sort of pranks, sex, drugs, etc. LOL. No, my entire school experience has basically consisted of go to school, do the work, be bored, come back home, repeat every single day. And that goes for elementary school, junior high school, and now my college/university, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I didn't do any of those things in high school. Well, not prom. Can't remember any freaking pranks. Definitely not sex or drugs either. So yeah, I didn't have any of those things in high school. So my best high school experience, I don't know. To be quite honest, it's probably like lunch. Like, I remember this one time I got seconds because I was really fucking hungry, obviously because fat, and they used to give like turkey and mashed potatoes. And one time, like, I ate them. I ate like my portion, and then I went back for seconds, and they actually gave me some. So I was really fucking happy about that. So basically, I'm just like an archetype loser. If I had a basement and I lived in there and I didn't have a job, then I'd be like a complete loser, like 100%, like standard loser. But yeah, the Black Stardust wants to know, what is your real name? Do you like tortas? My real name is Jaime. I kind of don't like that name at all. I used to think it was fine, but now I'm expected to like meet people sometimes and like present myself and all this shit. I don't know what it's called, but I don't like it, because the first thing you gotta do when you're trying to meet someone is tell them your name or ask them their name, whatever. And 90% of people cannot say my name, and it's pretty fucking annoying. And then it just, like, right away, if they don't get my name, I just feel like, oh fuck, and then it just goes downhill from there. So yeah, do you like tortas? I do like tortas. What's not to like about tortas? It's basically like a Mexican version of a hamburger. It's just meat, maybe some vegetables, some condiments, and then between two pieces of bread. So yeah, I really like them. Legendary Lucario 14, what is your favorite experience ever? Fuck, I don't know. I guess that one day at VGC's in Pleasanton was pretty fun. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that, because that day was full of shit. I mean, not shit, but full of stuff and feelings, and like anger and like anxiety and happiness, and then sadness, and then really fucking happiness, and then again sadness, and then yeah, that day was pretty cool. The ASG for life. When you watch Pokemon battles on YouTube, do you tend to watch the somewhat more known people, or do you enjoy also watching lesser known YouTubers? Fuck, man, my mom's using a fucking blender. Fuck, this shit's about to be over. Oh yeah, I was on the question about YouTube and subscribers. I don't take into consideration sub count at all whenever I watch anything. I don't take into consideration likes or views or dislikes or anything. Basically, if it has to deal with the topic that I'm interested in, then I'll watch it. I don't give a fuck what other people think about it, for the most part. So yeah, I watch some people that are really, really popular, like Shofu, and I don't watch some people that are really, really popular, such as Hayden. And I watch a few people that have less than 100 subs, and then I watch a lot of people that don't, or I don't watch a lot of people that have less than 100 subs. So I honestly did not think people took these things into consideration, but I don't know, maybe I'm just retarded or something. Yo names, why does PK hate Mag? I don't fucking know. Why the fuck would you ask me? Why don't you go ask PK or Mag? Or PK, since you're asking why does PK hate Mag. But I will say, knowing PK somewhat, and I used to kind of know Magnitude a few years ago. From what I know about both of those people, they don't hate each other. They just don't really give a fuck about each other. So yeah. Purple Dragon Knight 69. What do you do for your job? And why were there roosters in your backyard? Fuck, I got a burp. I already went through what I do for my job. And there are roosters in my backyard because I like chickens. My dad likes chickens. And they're just pets. Like, there's roosters in my backyard for the same reason that a bunch of other people have dogs in their backyard. Or fish in their fish tanks. It's just an animal that you like. And you keep them bitches. And you feed them. You take care of them. And that's about it. So, I think that was the last question. This shit's gone on a little too long. But hopefully I'll get the melee working. So, yeah. Comment, rate, all that shit. I'm out.